We're live. Good morning. I was just thinking doing a live is like having an invisible friend. Maybe I need to have like a little, well, I got this face up here. Look at this face. I'll show you this face. I'll pretend this is my, um, see the little face. I decoupaged that years ago. Probably 2012 is when I did that. That was when I did my jewelry, learned to make some jewelry. Um, it's like having an invisible friend. You're out there, but you're out there, like way out there. Anyway, maybe we'll have fun today. No, I'll have fun today, and maybe some will join me in my fun. And if not, others watch it later. That's kind of fun. And today is December the 5th. My dad's birthday is in 10 days. That means I have to go get his card posted because it takes a while to get there. Usually 4 days, but now sometimes even longer than that. Anyway, show and tell what I got on today. These are some of these deer earrings. They're very deer earrings. I'll show you one of them. I have something similar in my shop, but it's more of like a psychedelic purplish blue pink. It's very cool, but it's long like this one. I tend to do long earrings. And today my necklace I have on, this was from Dry Gulch. Years ago I bought this in one of the beach shows up north here in Kansas City. And I think I paid $25 for it, but look at the pretty, beautiful glass work on that. Isn't that pretty? It's just on a chain. It's one of my favorites. Looks nice with this dollar Walmart crochet cape I found. And then my stack today is, I thought this was a great illustration of solid silver color, kind of bold looking. Then matte over here with wood looking. I think it's resin, but it looks like wood. Then sparkly, then kind of girly. I don't know what you would call that. And then bold with this clasp. That's my stack today. Yes, I do buy my clothes to match my jewelry, but I will tell you that some things I just hold on to because they look so nice. And this turtleneck is one of my favorites. So you will see it again. It's very Christmassy. I have a hard time getting rid of the colors of some clothes, and this is one of them. So, do you have your tree up yet? We got our tree up, and I got lights on it last night, and tonight I'm going to string some popcorn and cranberries. I just love doing that. I found the best popcorn. It doesn't taste good to eat it. Dogs don't mind it because the dogs like to pick up what breaks them to the floor. It's not very tasty to eat, but it's beautiful big kernels when I pop it. It looks great on the tree. So last week we made a triple bracelet, one of my favorites. It's one of my favorite things to make. That's actually what I have on today, is a triple wrap bracelet. And why I like it is because you can get one little focal and all your mixed match beads that you know don't have enough of to do something, and you can make a bracelet out of it. I love how this one turned out. I love the colors. The colors are usually, you tend to do colors that you like. I rarely do purple, but I have a stash of purple from a group of beads that I bought from someone, and so I love these. They're very, it's kind of a smoky organic looking purple. That's probably why I like it. And then these beads here, I got these. I don't even remember where I got these, but I had like 3 or 4 of them. So I did make a kit. I'm putting a kit together so that if anyone wanted to buy, it's very similar. I tried to find the same pieces and parts to put it together, to put it in the shop to make a kit for anybody who would like to make one of these. So I think I can make actually 3 of those kits. Okay, let me pull you up on my online, my computer. Usually I listen to any comments there. Everybody's texting me right now. Hope you can hear me good. Let me pop on here a second just to see if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Test, test, test. Me right now. Oh, there. That's great. Okay. So let me pull this up. That way if anybody comments. Oh, look, there's Tina. Good morning, Tina. Good morning. Okay. I showed you what I had on. So let's look at my desk and see what we can come up with today. Actually, today I want to show you. Oh, there it says bring them on video. Sound is great. Thanks. You know, Tina, I found a good way. I put my headset on. I make sure it's Bluetooth, and I can walk anywhere in the room or in the house, or if I need to go get something, and then everyone can hear me well. And it's been a good solution. I don't like that this is like in my face, but it's kind of small. You don't really see it that much. Anyway, today I wanted to make some Christmas presents from some of my friends. So, Christmas earrings, and I know some of them have been liking some of the stuff on my page. So I said, if you like some of it, then I'll know what it is you're interested in. And so they were interested in some of those snowflake ones. So I bought me some snowflakes. Let me put you on my desk. And oopsie daisy, hold on. That was tight. Okay, let me turn you around. And of course, when I zoom in, it zooms way, way, way in. A lot zoomier than I need it to be. And then when I go to put it back, it doesn't let me do it. Isn't that something? So hold tight. Technical issues. Technical issues. Yeah, let's see if I do that. Oh, good. It took it right back. So let me see if I can zoom in slowly. Oh, look at that. I did. Yes. That makes me happy. Because I don't like to go off screen. And I've noticed a couple times now, I've really been going off screen. So we do not want to go off screen. So do you see these? Yeah. Those are the snowflakes for the earrings I want to make. So it's pretty simple today. I got this kit from, well, actually it was a stash, I believe. Actually, this wasn't in there. I don't know how that got in there, but this was a stash for $25, believe it or not, that I got from Jill McKay. She was destashing, and I thought, let's see what goodies are in this to make these earrings, because let's see if there's a front and a back. There really isn't. Doesn't really look like one. So I got how many of these? 2, 4. My heater seems to have broke down here. I came down here and messed with it and messed with it and messed with it. I'm a little cold. If you don't mind, I'm going to get me my blanket. Where is my blanket? Because I am cold. It turns on and like it lights up like it's a fireplace, but for some reason the heater doesn't work. And I had that happen before, and Zane worked on it, and so maybe he can get it going again. But ooh, I'm nippy. Okay, and I do have my coffee to keep me warm. We run a wood fireplace stove upstairs, and because we do that, the heat doesn't pop on. So I got these beautiful silver ones. So actually, I have not thought out how I'm going to do this. I thought I'd walk you with me through design. I got these beautiful ones. And these are beautiful little green, kind of translucent green. And then these are very cool. Look at these stripy, yellow, stripy, blue beads. Different shapes in there. Then wee little red. Like these are wee. These look like size 15. They're so small. But that's a pretty red and silver. There's some purple. I'm kind of interested in this. This is kind of a teal purple mix. That would make some great Christmas colors. This is some beautiful orange, yellow, white. Really not very much yellow, but oranges. These are very cool. These have got an interesting shape. Some are translucent. Some of them have like an AB on the back. Oh, the AB on the back. And then translucent on the front. Then there's a few pearls. So, and then they have a few, which I could take all of that and make probably a necklace, and I'll still have plenty left when I'm done making my earrings. But let's see, what can we do what can we come up with? Let's just lay it out. I really like these. These are interesting looking. Could use some of those. Some of them have a different shape, so I have to make sure I put the shapes together. They look like they have kind of a big hole, which kind of can create issues sometimes. But those are pretty. And they all go with this beautiful silver bead here. And I think these would go really nicely. I did some with these purple. I really want to use this beautiful small red, but nothing here really goes with that red. And but that's a beautiful red, like Christmassy, since they're snowdrops. And then this bead mix here, let me find a little tray. This bead mix here is very, very pretty. Let me get that out of there. There's a piece of something in there. This one here is very pretty. So, what can we come up with here? I think the pearls are, well, no, I think I want to save those for the necklace. And these really don't match Christmas. So, we could add these to the blue ones. And that's a little bit too blue. So, let me get some pins. I know Tina's got her Christmas stuff up, don't you, Tina? These stick pins, head pins have gotten a little bent. Let me straighten these out. If you remember, we use these plastic jaw pliers. I hold it with one side and then I just run it through. Okay, so we know that we're going to drop the snowflake from the bottom. So let's see what we can come up with here. We know we would like these. We know we need some spacers, right? How about some spacers? I have to find my spacers. There's some big ones in there, but I think these would do better with a little bit of daintier spacers. Don't you think? I'll show you what I'm looking at. See all my containers over there. I gotta find the spacers in those containers. There you go. Can you hear me? Something turned my sound off. Wonder how that turned off on its own like that. So I want to see what this looks like on top of there with this here. Now this bead is a little odd in that it is almost shaped like some of the African beads. It's just a little off being uniform, which is okay. Being off uniform is okay. But what I might do to help it, see that right there? Now it's good. I think I might need to put a really small bead underneath of it. See if that helps it. Let's see if I can find a really small bead in here that will work. I don't really want anything in color. Let's see what that one will do. Oh, here's a nice small one. Let's see what that will do, if that will go up into that hole. Make it a little more sit well for me. Okay. I like that. It's very Christmassy. Pinch of blue, pinch of yellow. Let's see what bead I can find for the top of it. Here's a pretty, that's a purple. We kind of want a blue. Let's see if this blue. That's too baby blue. Too baby blue. Here's some blue. I found me some blue. So this year I made my, I told Tina this already. She already knows this. But last year I made my tree white lights. I always put white lights. There's a pretty, matches that. Matchy match. That's perfect. Okay, so now that we know we want that, we are going to create our earring. So first thing I'm going to do is cut the end off. So I was saying that I'm going to make me a shepherd's hook, very small one. Doesn't need to be very big. I made the tree white with white lights, and my husband, who hardly ever has an opinion about these things, said he liked colored lights. So I went and got colored light last night to put on the tree, and so he can enjoy color lights. I told him we'll swap next year. That's if I remember. I told him, I said next year I will put the white lights on. This year we'll have the color lights on. Unfortunately, though, so okay, let's back up a second. So I cannot close that shepherd's hook. You know why? Because the metal is thicker than I anticipated. So guess what? No big deal. You go in, take your pliers, round nose, and you just make a bigger loop. You need a bigger loop because the metal's bigger and we want to have good swing. So let's see if I made it big enough for it to close up. I'm looking on the camera. It looks really blurry. Wonder why it looks so blurry. You know why? I bet it's zoning in on those charms I got in front of me. Okay, so I came down further and it's doing better. That's good to know. I don't like you to watch something blurry. There we go. Now we got our shepherd's hook on there with our snowflake. So let's add our beads. And remember, because of the shape of this bottom one, I'm adding a bead in it. Doesn't go all the way in it, but what it does is it gives it a little support for it to sit a little straighter. It's not going to be perfectly straight, but it does help. Because if we can help it be a little straight, we will. So there we add that. We add the spacer bead and then this little blue bead. And that's our earring. Now that's very traditional to me, and it's very short, and my friends will love it. So that's that one. Let's finish that one off. So I'm going to take and make sure I got the back, face the back way. And I have it perpendicular. Can you see I have it perpendicular so that I can make my loop? I'm going to do a wrap loop. I don't need a very big opening because I am, there we go. Then I grab it with this one and I twist 3 to 5 times. This one looks like I'll get 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I'll try to do the next one the same way. There we go. We got it towards the back. We're going to snip it. Snip, snip. And guess what? I got me new snippers. Finally. The old snippers had to go bye-byes. I don't have them out. I wonder what I do with them. These are my other thicker ones, but they'll do. What I've learned is you have to have several different types of, I'm going to scrunch that together a little bit. There we go. And tuck that little tail in. And voila! That's one design. Okay. So let's do another design. Let's do, I'm going to cut this end off. Make me a shepherd's hook. Remember, I got to make it a little bit bigger than I normally do because the metal is nice and thick on these snowflakes. We want it to fit. I like to look and see if there's really a front and back, but they really look similar, but just pick the one I like the best. There we go. Now let's make a new design. Let's make another design. I really like these. These are very candy looking. They look like a piece of hard candy. And that would go there. Now what we could do is we could add a spacer there. Let's add this purple bead. See if we like the spacer under it. And I do. So far so good. Let's see, what else do we got here? Let's add another spacer. This looks pretty whichever way it goes because it's going to twirl. And then let's see in this little bead mix over here what we might like. I got to make sure I got 2 of something. And I see something I like, but I don't know if there's another one like it. Let's see if there's another one like it. And I didn't put the whole bag out. Oh, there's one just like it. Good, we can do that. I wonder if, are they the same? Yes. I wonder if there is a signal. See, I like that. That's a very pretty one. And then I found this little teeny bead, silver bead I want to put on top. Now that's a very pretty, simple, traditional earring that's going to twirl when you wear it. That's the second design. Okay, let's finish that off. I'm going to find the back at the bottom because I always make sure all of my openings go to the back of the earring. So hold it perpendicular. Let me get this right. I hold it perpendicular. I check it, and then I bend in the same. I bend away from me in the same direction. Then, because I'm making a loop in the front of it, so then I bend over. I'm actually doing, this is a wire wrap. I have my loop, and now I'm going to wrap. And I usually wrap 3 to 5, but the other one I did 3. There's 1, so I'm going to mirror it. I'm going to do 3, 2, because we do like to have our earrings match. There we go. And then I'm going to snip the back. There's that one. Let's see if we can get a third one out of this. I'm going to tuck that in. Throw my little piece away. These are really fast and easy to do. I have one of the ideas that I've done for people and I've done for myself is taken heirloom pieces, meaning like I'll show you. I got this at off of a Facebook Market bead stash that I got. And I had a lady now hers wasn't this big, but I had a lady who wanted to make earrings for her family, and she had her grandmother's necklace. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that just stunning? I'm not going to tell you what I got it for. It was a steal. And I tear this apart. I tore hers apart, and I made bracelets, I made necklaces, I made earrings. And because most people aren't going to wear this necklace like this, but you take and put it in a collection with an earring. Say we take a smaller one like that and put maybe those three and some color and a snowflake, people wear it. So that was a fun find. So that makes a really cool Christmas present to take something that was in the family and, you know, share it in a way that it can be used, repurpose it. I had a gal give me all her leftover pieces out of her jewelry box that were her earrings. And I did the same thing, and I made a whole bunch of earrings. She took what she wanted and left me the rest that she didn't want. And you wouldn't believe what you can do with repurposing. I have a whole bucket over there of used necklaces to be torn apart. I don't really tear them apart yet until I need them, but they're there to go through when I'm trying to come up with a design. Okay, let's do one more. Let's see what time it is. I can do one more. And let me look at my desk and see what I would like to do. Because is there anything else that I got laying around here that I would like to, that does my fancy? You know what I mean? What else would I like to do with all of the goodies I have? Oh, you know, these are kind of cool. I had these bow ties. I don't know about those. Let's see. Do I have anything Christmassy green? Oh, look at these beautiful beads I have. I put this in a design. Let's use one of these. Yeah. These are beautiful red. Let me find these. There's a beautiful Christmassy red. Another Christmassy red. So those are those. So I still got 1, 2, 3 pair to make. But I'm not going to make 3 more pair. I think I'm just going to make, you know, the repeat the design kind of thing. That's pretty with that. With that. Maybe with these little silver beads I have. Maybe those. And something else. I'm not quite sure. Oh, look at this. This would go really pretty. I'm really liking this green. Oh, I'm opening it upside down. Okay, let me get a pin. I think it came together. I think I know what I want to do. But I think I want to use these. Now this one's a little more my style. And I'm going to put a spacer on. Then I'm going to put this beautiful, beautiful red bead on. And then I'm going to put this beautiful silvery black spacer on. And then this little bead. I wonder if it needs another bead. Well, what about if I put this beautiful green bead on, and then this spacer bead. How's that? Too many beads? How's this? Silver, green. Which one should I keep at the top? The silver one or the green one? I like that green with it. And then this would be at the bottom. Let me go get my green drawer. I need something green. I think something green would be really nice. I have a whole green stash. What's bad is I always have to go through all of them to see which one. Maybe I should label the things, but just haven't done that. Here it is. Let me find a green that we like. I think it needs to be a little bit bigger than what I got. Oh, look at that green. Now that's too big, but that is a pretty green, isn't it? And I don't know if I have two of those, but that is really pretty. And look at that one. That's pretty. Something smaller like that. The colors are pretty. Here's a pretty flower green. That's too traditional for me. Too traditional. Is this the same size? It is the same size. I like that, but it may be a little smaller. And it looks like I got a lot of those. Sorry if that's loud in your ears. Nothing's jumping at my fancy. These are kind of interesting, but they're more like a blue. Okay. Is there anything in this one? Let's see about these. Oh, here's a smaller one. I really like that dark green one, though, don't you? There's a wee little one. There's another one of those little ones. Let's put the green in there and see if we like it. We'll put a spacer and a green. And the black spacer. Well, it's actually a silvery spacer. And the little teeny. There we go. How's that? That's pretty traditional. I like. Okay, that's my third one. So let's finish that one off. So we have to make our little shepherd's hook. We sure make a lot of shepherd's hooks, don't we? I looked to getting some pre-made shepherd hooks, and they were a lot more money. And I was like, oh, we can make our own. It doesn't take much to make a shepherd's hook, right? So we are making our own, girlfriend. Okay, let's put our snowflake on. Let us wonder if there's a front or not. No, I want it that way. And I'm going to close it up. So it must not be big enough. So we go back to the drawing board and we just make it bigger. So this is Briggs, my little puppy's first Christmas, first snow. It was very fun to watch him in the snow. It was a riot. It was a riot. He loved it. He loved it. He loved it. Um, I have two other dogs, so they're all playmates, and it was just really fun to watch them romp around together. Okay, we got that on there. Now we put our spacer, and we could put the green one first. Doesn't, I don't think it really matters which direction we go. Let's see if we like it this way. Yeah, green, red and green. I don't know. I'm just kind of stuck on the red first. Don't know why. With jewelry, it doesn't really matter. Okay. Now I'll put this one and then this one. There we did. And we whipped 3 earrings together, what, in 45 minutes. That's pretty good. In less than 45 minutes for Christmas presents. I just got the mirror one to make, to match it. And then I can get them in the mail today. I'm going to make my loop. I always make this a little smaller because, it doesn't take much to get an ear wire in there. You don't need very much loop. Then and then it saves you this wire to be able to go around 3 times. 1, 2, 3. There we go. I'm going to squeeze it together just a little bit. Straighten it up some. Snip that tail, tuck her in. And then I got my designs all done. What are you making for Christmas? I saw the cutest little seed bead. Now you gotta really like seed beading. Tasseled ones in Nostalgica this week off a little Christmas trees. They were adorable. And I swore I would never seed bead. Well, don't you know, seed beading is it's scratchy, so I'm trying to get it to come together better so it's not scratchy. I don't like it to be scratchy. You don't want to scratch. That's what I'm working at right now, getting that so it's not scratchy. Okay. Isn't that cute? You like that one? I like it. Yeah. Just make it a little like an inch or 2 longer for me and it would be my style. But there we go. There's our 3 little. We put them together, just hanging out. They came together pretty easy. Oh, that was fun. And thanks Jill McKay for her goodie bag she sent me. Look here, I got some clasps in there to put on the necklace. Oh, and these came with it, these little silver spacers. Aren't they pretty? Oh, and this too. I didn't show you this. This was a focal that was in there. A flower focal. It's very pretty. Die cut. So I'm going to put the one kit in the shop that I told you about, my triple wrap bracelet. I'm going to put a kit in for anybody. I'm going to do 3 of them. They're going to be very similar to these. I'm putting the purple. It'll be the same colors, same colorway. And then I'll put this one in there for sale. And I have these beautiful leaves I got, and they didn't have holes in them, so I just put holes in them. And this one here is a little sharp. I have to sand that down a little bit. I'm going to put these leaves also in the shop. These are really fun. I don't know if you'd want to make earrings on them. They're not heavy. You could make earrings if you really like these, but I love these on focals. Let me show you the one that I got done. Where is it? Here it is. I just love those leaves. I will use a lot of those leaves because I just think they're cute. But I was like, okay, why don't you share them, Wendy, instead of hoarding them? And this is the necklace that is one of my special necklaces. I've shown this before, but this is at the bottom of the focal. See that? Now I put a little patina on it. I think this is I have gold and then I have silver. And what I did was I just took some brownish gold paint and washed it, gave it a wash. And see, I wanted it to match that flower better because it was the same as this one. But they're just really cute. So I'm going to share some of these. They're metal. They're nice. They're thin. It's a good thing they're thin. If they were thick, we'd be in trouble because they're thin, we can actually use them, and we could use them as earrings. I just don't fancy them as earrings, but maybe someone does. So I have gold ones and then silver ones, and then I'm going to put the holes in them, then make sure there's no sharpness to them. But aren't they cute? They were a find. I love finding finds. I love finding things, fun things like that, and then using them. Yep, that's one of the things one of my mentors taught me, do the things that you love making, that you like making. Yeah, once in a while you have to make earrings like that aren't your style, but they are my style now that I came up with them. I worked on those, and they're my colorway. They're I picked out the snowflake size I wanted. So, yeah. Anyway, this here is made out of an old necklace. It's made out of an old necklace and then gemstones. Oh, isn't that something? The older you get, you can't remember things as well. But let me tell you, I might not be able to remember things really well and the names of them, but I still can make jewelry like nobody's business. And what is that? Opal. My favorite opal. This was the string that it's actually graduated, but I didn't want it graduated. I just stuck it on there to match this vintage beads strand that I had found. And then I added an old button. Isn't that cool? And then some brownish chain, and it goes over my head. And I have a bracelet that I made sort of to match it. A friend had given me some opals, so now I have a opal necklace and an opal bracelet. And then at the bottom of I added an extra hole to add this at the bottom of that leaf. This was you know how at the end of those old necklaces they have a extra string? That's what that is. I like to take those and make earrings out of them too. If you find two matching ones, they make special earrings because look, it's graduated to a bigger one. Isn't that cool? Anyway, I'll show you that. And then I was going to show this last week and I forgot. And I'm getting close to my time. Ethiopia. Ethiopia? Oh, opals, you mean? Ethiopia opals or the Ethiopia? I don't know they're Ethiopia. But here's a necklace that I made. Now, I did not hand do these beads, but they're kind of like rosary beads. And I got this design I added this button. I got this design. Look at that little teeny weeny Mary charm. And then here's a Jesus and a lamb charm. Look how little dainty that is. Isn't that cute? And look at that blue. Isn't that a beautiful blue? And you know how sometimes they put that blue on those charms? That was on there. I didn't do that. So then I took and I did this years ago. And this was a design. It's a little loud for me, but I like the design, and I think I'm going to go back and redo it and put smaller charms on it. It's just I don't wear it because now it's beautiful, but I wish all the charms were smaller. And it's just a little bold for me, my style. But they're beautiful charms. And all those charms would be beautiful in in another design. But anyway, it's a short necklace. It's not very long, but it looks so great on those clear beads, They're just really pretty. I do like to make these and put these together like this, though. Make the loop on one end and loop on the other. It is fun. Anyway, that was just one idea that I wanted to show. So I've been doing a 21-day gratitude in a group. It's been very fun. People come on. You do something every day different. Yesterday was, who was one person that, that you appreciated in your life and why. And it's just been really fun, and it really does um, help change the hard things that are going on around us in the middle of life. So I've been really glad that I've been doing that, because life doesn't stop even though you appreciate. It doesn't really stop. It keeps going, and it still has its hard moments. But I think those are the gifts. Those are the things that we appreciate. Those are the things that help the hard things in the middle. But if we don't stop and really think about them and be in them in the moment, and feel it, um, it's hard. So I just share that. That's what's been helping me lately, and maybe that can help you. And I want you to know I really appreciate you coming on and sharing this time with me. That will probably be, I don't know what they have assigned different things you appreciate, but one of the times will be that I just really appreciate, like Tina always comes on when she can. And, she doesn't have to, but she stops and hangs out with me in my live. And I appreciate that. And for anybody who watches this later, I just want you to know, I just really appreciate you. It's, you're kind of like my invisible friends. And maybe one day some of you will become real friends. I don't know. Don't know what the future holds. But these here are going to one coast and one's going to another coast. Two of them are going to one coast and another one's going to another coast. So you have a great day, and thanks for hanging out with me. Appreciate you.